Hi, my name is McAndrew. I'm a third year law student here at DMU, and I'm running for DSU president this year. I've had a fantastic time at the university over the past 3 years, both within the Students' Union and also within my course. And I'd really like to be able to increase the catchment of the SU. I know this is said a lot, this has been said by past presidents, this is on manifestos of most of the other candidates who are standing, but it is a very important part. There are not enough people who are involved in our Students' Union. Last year, 2,500 people voted in this election, and there's 21,000 students in this university. So clearly, something needs to be done. And I'm not just talking about social media. I think social media has a great place within the 21st century, but I also think that the SU needs to be made part of the student experience. You need to see someone from the SU in your first couple of weeks of lectures.
Time, thank you. Always wanted to say that. Yeah. Michael.
Okay. Hi, I'm Michael. I'm a third year history and politics student, and I'm basically going for the presidency for 4 reasons. One, I don't want to do anything else. I just thought it's a great position, and I thought I could bring some change and vitality to the role. I want to reform the relationship between the student body itself and the student union, and I want to bring the difference because I'm not of the sporting societies, and I thought might as well give the underdog a go.
I'm Joel, I study psychology, third year, and I'm going to speak really quickly. I want to represent the student voice, I want to create the best student experience possible, and I want to make our students' union the best in the nation. Why would I be good at the job? I'm ridiculously organised, excessively motivated, I love social media, everyone knows I like a tweet. I'll give everything I have towards represent the students at DMU. I love this university, I love Leicester. I want people to stop saying they go to a university in Leicester. I want people to say, I go to De Montfort University, and not the other crappy one.
Hi guys, I'm Oliver Brooks, and worryingly, everyone knows me as Briefcases apart from my actual name. Jordan's kind of taken my legs from under me. I was going to say a lot of what he's going to say. I feel like these have been the best years of my life, and why would I want to leave? I want to support as many people as possible to have as much enjoyment out of university as I've had. Be that through sports and societies, through Demon Media, through anything. I just want to be there to help, and I feel like it'd be a great. I think I feel like I'd be really good at that.
Hi guys, I'm Mike. Second year international business and globalization student. Like the others, love the university as well and the students in it. I want to give something back pretty much in making positive changes next year and implementing exciting changes. I think briefly, international students need to get more involved. I want to bring the Demon paper more to a wider range of people and the way that's distributed. Another more exciting one is changing the way we revise online as well and getting people more involved, engaging, communicating with each other instead of kind of sitting in the library trying to find a computer for 5 hours. So something I want to get involved in as well.
Good afternoon, my name is Adil Waraich. I'm running for World Presidente. I study English language teaching, which is probably a significant point because it shows that I'm an investor in people, which is just a fancy way of saying that I want to get the good out of everyone and get the best out of all students. I've got a YouTube channel, so if you want to check out my manifesto in complete detail, go search for Adil Waraich on YouTube. You'll find 2 videos. One is of my video manifesto, and that is a video where you can just get a feel of who I am. My manifesto consists of 5 main points that I believe is that makes up the welfare of the students. So that's finance, education, networking and employability, sports and societies, facilities and space, and all these together make up a student's well-being. So just a couple of examples from my manifesto. I want to represent all students, no matter their beliefs or backgrounds. Make sure that they're never alone, so I'm always there to listen to you guys. And I want to make DMU the best experience you can ever have.
Okay, hi, my name is Ahtesham. I'm a final year pharmaceutical and cosmetic science student. I make drugs and crystals, hashtag Breaking Bad. One of my main focus, it's a cracking up. Okay, so I've been quite fortunate. I've been heavily involved with the student union. That's either getting involved through front runners, being the student rep for 2 years, chair of student council now, where I meet the executive officers on termly basis and evaluate the whole manifestos and the progress. My key aspect for my running is employability. I've after my first year, I got a high 2-2, sorry, and going for a placement, the person that I went up against came from a first, so I got shortlisted from 28 people. So a first and a 2-2 went head to head, and I think the main difference there was extracurricular activities. So I want to put emphasis on those, get more out, and increase awareness of those available.
Thank you very much, everyone. We'll start with an easier question for you guys, and we're going to start with Josh. What do you see as the most important element of the campus centre / student union redevelopment?
Breakout spaces. The university is very good. There are a lot of rooms, the teachers are brilliant, but there's not enough space for students to relax and go with their own laptops and just relax. For example, I am in Hawthorne, and that hasn't got that many breakout spaces, but there's one being built now. There's one being built in Fletcher, Clefford, everywhere. You just need somewhere to relax and get away from the education for sometimes.
And we work this way, so Oliver.
Brilliant. I agree. Breakout space is a great idea. Hugh Aston's pretty good for it. There's the Queen's is really good for it as well. But then I just think space generally for the people who work in the SU. You guys look really cramped in that office. There's 5 of you in there. You go to the sports office. You cram 3 of them in there with 4 desks. And I just think more space. It makes it look more inviting. We get more people involved, and obviously, better it'll look. The more people will get, and the better student voice will be.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say space as well. I think a lot of, even in the library as well, we need more computers and more facilities in there. I'm gonna have to change the record again, but you guys at the student union working, it's like a maze when you have to walk through to the different rooms and find them. I think I don't want to repeat them again, but I agree with the space.
Can I just rephrase the question slightly? What do you see as the most important element of the student union redevelopment, rather than the university as a whole?
You're next. Okay. The campus redevelopment programs is a great opportunity, and so the student union is getting redesigned, restructured as well as part of that. So if you're going to redesign the structure of the entire building, then it's probably a good idea to install the soft spaces that we want as students. Because at the moment, all we've got is that small little lounge, and it's got a few beanbags in there, but it's not much. So, I mean, if you can take inspirational from the big companies like Google, for example, if you have a look at their office spaces, they're brilliant. So why don't we have something like that in the Students' Union as well?
Brilliant.
Okay, so I think the most important thing would be incorporating everyone's little space inside. So you've got your own little corner there. So following on from the annual general meeting that took place and the Better Forum meeting that took place recently, there was discussion. One of the main topics I would discuss was the redevelopment of the SU. Sadly, only 12 people came up for the Better Forum meeting. So, I don't know the rest of, that's like 20,000 students whose opinions we don't know and how it's going to be affected.
Jordan?
I think the most important thing is the potential that it brings to the Students' Union. The potential that it brings both space-wise, but also having that campus centre as just a Students' Union is going to be great for people getting involved in across that massive broad range of services that the SU provides. I think more and more people will get involved once that redevelopment's happening, and it's very exciting for the potential of the SU.
Okay. Next one is slightly more difficult.
You missed me out.
Sorry, Michael.
Thank you. With the redevelopment of the Students' Union, it will produce a greater sense of accountability and democracy, because it would allow people to easily meet up with their exec, their representatives, instead of just trying to meander through basically a maze and passageway of doors and corridors and what have you. So it'll mean you can easily get access to your representatives, have a chat with them, and have a talk with them about your particular problem or issue.
Great. Apologies there.
No worries.
Okay, so the next question, which we're going to start with you, Ahtesham. How are you going to lead DSU through a turbulent time in higher education?
Okay, so it's too broad of a question. Like, what in specifically?
Okay, so
are you asking?
currently, it was mentioned earlier, so the student number control is going to be abolished. We have no idea what our funding is going to be because of the Student Opportunities Fund this year. There are issues with HEFCE, there is Michael Gove in power, which is a nightmare for everyone. What do you see what do you see the biggest challenges? I'd rephrase it slightly. What do you see the biggest challenges facing the Watford Student Union in the next year?
Okay, so the biggest challenges will be to, one, everyone's going to be paying £27,000 overall. You want your use from that £27,000, so have full-on development and incorporation of all this needs. For spending cut-wise, we need to know what the budget is before we can do anything about it, and apparently that's been pre-forecasted. So without knowing what the budget is and without knowing what areas students want developed specifically, it'll be hard to say.
Well, the student union represents all students, so it's important to go out there and find out exactly what the students want in this time. So yeah, you've got to do a lot of research, brainstorming, find out exactly how it's affected the students, and then work from there.
Yeah, I think keeping the students interested and engaged with the student union is going to be the biggest challenge at the moment. I think one of the points I highlighted in my manifesto was the distribution of the demon paper that we've got going. I think I've walked past one today actually outside the student union. We've got it kept in kind of like a plastic box. It's looking pretty scrappy and it's the leaflets and been chucked on it. I think it's the little things like that we have to make sure that people are still going to be engaging with the demon paper and making sure that they know that we here still care and we're here still interested in it as well. So the little things as well.
Okay, thank you.
Obviously, a big issue is going to be the Student Opportunities Fund being scrapped. If that does actually happen, it'll make it a lot more difficult for the SU as a whole just to do anything. Obviously, another big issue is the fact that potential we could have no students. I mean, it's not going to happen, but we could have fewer, we could have more. How we deal with that? At the same time, I think Sod's law dictates that we're just going to get a bigger problem. As soon as it happens, you have to deal with them one at a time, as opposed to looking at it as a whole. Deal with them one at a time. It makes it a lot easier and a lot more. It seems like you're getting goals done if you accomplish it that way.
Sounds like a question Caitlin wrote.
She may have helped.
Yeah, but I think the biggest challenge of the student union is expectation. The fees are going up. Student expectations are naturally going to go up with that. We need to listen to what students are saying, and we need to do and fight as much as we can to provide what they want. Student Opportunities Fund, that's 4.7 million DMU get. Without that, it's going to be impossible. We need to fight that. We need to do everything we can, petitions, get to government, and we just need to stop that.
For students now and in the new year, we need to actually take a poll of what the faculty is offering now and afterwards, and base it on that. And as the students' empowered voice, I will go to the higher ups and say, we need this, this, and this, and we need the particular funds from this. So where can we get funding from?
Yeah, I agree with what's been said. It is going to be a turbulent year for higher education, and I think that with 3 years worth of people paying £9,000 who are going to be expecting a lot more from their university, and should therefore be supported by the Students' Union to make sure that what they're paying, they are getting the services that is worth. And not only that, but cuts to student opportunities, which is still going through the Department of Business Innovation and Skills. And that's going to be devastating for the people that it does affect, and the Students' Union will need to continue to support current and prospective students who wish to come to DMU.
Brilliant. Okay, did anyone have any questions at all? This gentleman over here.
This question is about context. But the Vice Chancellor's salary is in the excess of 200k, but this is more than the British Prime Minister. So will you be able to justify his salary when at the same time the lecturers, the people who are actually teaching us are getting a 3% pay cut?
We'll start with Jordan on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the Vice Chancellor would happily tell you why he's being paid that much, and I think if you compare it to other Vice Chancellors across the board of universities, he's not getting the most by a long way. And I think the lecturers' strikes at the moment agree with the national NUS standpoint at the moment that equal and fair pay is very important to provide us with better services at the end of the day.
Thank you.
With concerning the Vice Chancellor, as the Chief Representative of the student body, I would try and hold him to account of why he wants to have that large salary when university lecturers are getting a 3% pay cut, I would generally advocate more a equal distribution for the lecturers rather than the Vice-Chancellor himself.
I agree with Jordan. I know the VC quite well, and I think what he does is amazing. I think he deserves to get paid a lot, not the amount he does, but without him, this uni would be nowhere near where it is at the moment. I think we should take the fight to all university chancellors, not just the VC.
Yeah, I'm the same. I feel like all the work I've seen the VC do is really impressive. He's really passionate about DMU. He loves this university. He wants to make it the best possible. Yeah, he gets paid a lot of money, and it's unfortunate that lecturers are getting paid a bit less. I'd want to go and speak to them as well, see what they could do to improve it. But then with the VC, I'd want to have a chat and see if he thinks that's a justifiable amount, and then have a few other people's input across the university as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. I think VC does a great job. I think it is a lot of money. I didn't know it was more than what the Prime Minister earned, but I don't think it's something we can affect too much as President. I don't know how much of an input we'd have on that. I think it's a good point to raise, but I'm not sure. I don't want to waste too much time on thinking about myself. But
Yeah, he did get paid more than the national average across vice-chancellors. So we do want to put students first. So when it comes to upset teachers and strikes, then that does really affect the students. So he will have to justify why he's getting paid a lot more than the national average. Because at the end of the day, we want the lecturers to be happy, which will make students happy.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't think he'll be too happy with taking a pay cut, but a little justification might be nice. But one thing that we can push for is, better research opportunities. Lecturers are in a university where they got all the resources they need. For example, the Cleffin building is 15th, I think, for English, and is 90% well leading in humanities. So stuff like that is going to bring funding in for the university and themselves. So they've got the opportunity to make the money they want.
Thank you. It's actually quite poignant. I had a question written down that I think I'm going to ask now because it'll be quite interesting, as you all took quite a strong view towards the pay, etc. So bearing in mind the tough economic climate and all the strikes, etc., going on at the moment, how do you think you will manage your relationship with the University Executive Board and the Board of Governors? So we will start with...
Brilliant. It's obviously not going to be easy. I know that if I were to be elected, I'd be on these boards, so I'd have to obviously get to know these people. I probably want to get to know them on a more of a personal basis as opposed to just business, just so you know how they feel, what their opinions are, and kind of understand where they're coming from. So when they make an argument, I can see it from both sides, then make the best decision possible in the interest of the students.
Yeah. Can you repeat the question, actually?
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
It is. How do you think you will manage your relationship with the University Executive Board and the Board of Governors?
Yeah, I think getting to know them personally is probably the best way to make sure that they listen to you and make sure that you can get everybody's view across as we were representing the whole union, the whole student union. Getting to them on a personal basis is probably the best way to manage that.
Yeah, it's important to have a good working relationship between your team and their team, because at the end of the day, you want to have the best interests of each other. So yeah, if you could, at the meetings, get to know them personally, is actually a brilliant idea. And then you could work with each other to know exactly what you guys want.
It could start off by bringing them Dominoes or something like that. But one thing I was told, being a course rep, is don't be scared to say something because you're representing a class of 90 students. As a president, I'm going to be representing 21,000 students. So if he's going to have to take a pat on the back and just a few words, then that's going to have to be done if you guys want to get represented fairly.
Sure.
Yeah. As president, your job is to represent the students at Montfort University, and so you have to manage the relationship as if you are representing them. No matter how hard it is for you to say to these people, whatever the student view is, that is your job, and that is what I will do.
If elected, I will represent this fine, august student body to the best of my ability, and I will work with the Chancellor in a collaborative way so we can build about a consensus between the two groups, the students and the executive.
Whilst the working relationship's really important and getting on with them is really important, at the end of the day, I'm representing students. If I need to get forceful, stubborn and raise my voice, I will do. I'm there to represent what the students want. I only care about the students. So if I need to raise my voice, I will.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, thank you very much. As there's so many of you, we've run out of time. Sorry. Well, we'll have one more question. You have 15 seconds to answer it each. Quick fire question. Go.
A lot of people mention the strikes. Now, yet again tomorrow, me and a lot of people are going to miss their lectures. Now, I know personally students are getting really, really frustrated, and a lot of them don't support the lecturers because it's getting ridiculous now. Now, there's talk within people I know that if there's one more strike, there's still potentially students countering it with another strike now themselves. So what would you do to ensure that you actually taking the needs of the students first rather than just sucking up to the lecturers?
We will start with Josh.
Every time you miss a lecture, you miss about 50 quid of your tuition fees. It's not acceptable. We need to fight it. We need to present both arguments. We need to communicate, and we need to find an end to it as soon as possible.
I would call for mediation and calm, and let's not get all angry about it. Just calm discussion about the subject, and we'll bring about a greater consensus of views.
Yeah, I think it's a very delicate situation. It needs to be handled differently with different students who are affected. But fair pay and encourages better lecturers to come to the university. And so I think sometimes strikes are needed.
Okay, so as far as I know, the strikes got something to do with not exceeding a 1% increase in pay. So they're getting paid on contact hour basis. So if they're missing out strikes, they're missing out lecture times. So they're losing money anyways. So you'd rather have that there.
Well, I think student striking is going to be counterproductive in this situation because they're just going to be missing out lectures that they want to go to themselves. So it's important to build a working relationship with the teachers' union and work together, see what you can do.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's important our students here fully understand why they're striking. I don't think striking ourselves would be a particularly productive thing. I think it'd be a bad move to do. As you said, we pay 50 quid per lecture. I think it's the right move to make. I think it's to understand why they're doing it.
I think if teachers are willing to, or lecturers rather, are willing to strike, they should be willing to explain why. So I think for faculty-wide, either send an email out, explain why they feel like they need something else, and that's why they're striking. I feel like it makes students a lot happier if they knew the real reasons from a person they've met, as opposed to a union body president that you've never actually come across.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for answering all the questions. Obviously, we haven't had that many questions from the floor, but we've got the event tomorrow. The launch event tomorrow is from 11 till 4, and during the day there'll be 2 chances again to grill the presidential candidates and all of the other candidates. We've also got the presidential hustings on Friday evening in the Trinity Chapel from 5:30 onwards. So there'll be some free food, drink, and you get once again to grill these guys. I know that, and that's organised by the Vice Chancellor, so I know he'll be asking the tough questions as well. And then also you'll be able to listen in on Demon FM on the Monday for the President candidates and the VP Welfare candidate, and also equally on the Friday for all the other positions. Thank you very much for coming. Really appreciate it. Thank you to Demon TV to again following us. If you have any questions for these guys, they'll probably be sticking around for a while, so ask them. And also, if you've got any questions for myself or the rest of the team, do let us know. But thank you very much for coming, and I'll see you soon.